welcome to my show Connecting with Saima Parwaz. I hope all of you are doing great and waiting to see my today's guest. Canada has built a reputation over the last half century for welcoming immigrants and valuing diverse cultures. Foreign-born people make up almost 1/4 of Canada's population. We will discuss Canadian immigration in our today's show. And my today's guest is Miss Devika. Hi, Miss Devika. Welcome to my show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we have talked so much over the phone, and we met once actually a few months back, and I invited you. Thank you so much again, and for giving me some time. So can you say some about your background?
Oh, sure. Yes. My name is Devika Penekelapati. I'm a founding partner of Borders Law Firm based in Midtown, Toronto. And then also, I was born and raised in India and came to Canada in late 90s, 1998, to pursue my higher studies. I went to McGill University to pursue my law degree, and then I went to University of Ottawa to do my master's. So then I worked at a Toronto-based immigration firm for 2 years before I started my firm.
Okay, that's really great. And your firm is in downtown, right?
Midtown, Toronto.
Yeah, and it's a Yonge and Eglinton, I believe. Right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yonge and Eglinton, okay. 2345 Yonge Street.
So would you like to say the name of your company?
Borders Law Firm Professional Corporation.
Yeah,
and it was founded in 2004.
And you can also see the name and number?
Yes, our phone numbers are 416-481-5689, and you can reach me at devika@borderslawfirm.com, and our website is www.borderslawfirm.com.
So Devika, tell me more about yourself. You were pretty young when you came from India, right? Your background is from India.
Yes, I was in my late 20s, and as I mentioned earlier, I came here to pursue my higher studies.
So you came on a study permit?
That's correct. I came as a student. That was my initial entry into Canada. And then I graduated from McGill University with a bachelor's degree in laws, LLB. That was the last batch where they had common law and civil law separately. And then after my graduation, actually McGill University combined both, and they introduced national programs. So all students have to know French in order to study law in McGill.
So you can speak a little bit French?
I started learning actually, but I can't say that I have the working knowledge. It's not easy to master French.
For kids, it's okay because they learn in a school, right? When you grow up and learn
That's
new
true.
language.
Yes, when you start learning at a young age in school, I think it's a lot easier as an adult, but also, it's a talent, it's a skill. Some people are good at learning, languages even as adults.
This is their hobby.
That's right. If you're interested and if you have the time. It all comes down to interest, of course. But studying law and also at the same time learning a new language is not easy. It's finding time, right? And also you're building a career, and law school is not easy. A lot of work and very time consuming.
Yeah, it's lots of study, right?
That's correct.
So at what age did you decide to be a lawyer? Or it was somewhere always in your mind when you were little?
You know what, it's interesting. Actually, thinking back, I think it was, my father is a lawyer. So I had the right environment at home. So when I was an undergrad, it wasn't like early on. Until my high school days, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a teacher because
that's
that
very
was
common. This is with everyone.
Half of this, young people, if we ask, they want to be a police officer, they want to be teacher or doctor, engineer. So growing up, I wasn't so keen on going to law school or becoming a lawyer. But then having the right environment at home, and when I was in undergrad, started working with my father during my summer holidays. Kind of started to, like the work, and also really developed that passion. Then I decided when I was in my second year of BA, Bachelor of Arts, this is what I would like to do, and I decided to go to law school.
That's great. And when did you decide you want to be an immigration?
Oh my goodness. You know what, it's funny, but it was by an accident. Actually, while I was in McGill studying law, I was working with the legal clinic attached to the university, where I got to work with a lot of family law cases and criminal cases. I enjoyed working with clients, helping them. I worked there for almost 2 years. But then, for sure, I didn't want to be a family lawyer or a criminal lawyer. That was very clear.
Any specific reason?
It's too draining emotionally because all the time you're spending time with fighting partners, spouses, and I wasn't ready actually to. I enjoyed the work. I was very good at what I was doing, family law especially, but then seeing children torn apart and then the partners fighting really bitter fights, I wasn't so strong enough emotionally to really get into that area of law. Criminal law is actually never I didn't sit well with my personality. And so I decided early on in my career that I didn't want to be a criminal lawyer or a family lawyer.
I think mostly men in the criminal, they like to do criminal law, right? But I know some women too.
Oh, of course, the leading lawyers now are actually criminal lawyers.
Oh, really?
Happen to be women. Right. It's what's the name actually? When I remember, I'm going to tell you about that, her. But used to be, yes. Traditionally, criminal lawyers, a lot of men used to go into that area of practice. Not anymore. You see more and more women entering, criminal law.
Women are all over.
Yes, that's true.
Strong.
Exactly. 20, 30 years ago, it was all male dominated, but now women are outnumbering even in law schools and also in every area of practice.
This is another reason, because women are more hard workers, right?
That's true.
And in law, you have to study hard. And women are like, they can do multiple things right, at a time.
Right. The multitasking, and also they're more patient, hardworking. I can't say that men are not hardworking, but women they empathize with their clients and also show a lot of tolerance and patience when they're working with them. Actually, clients like that. And also it depends, the competency. At the end of the day, it's actually, you got to be good at what you do. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man. The client has to see the results. That's what actually dictates, end of the day, whether to build a successful career, you have to build that reputation, and also you have to work hard.
And also, women, we have more strong feelings for the other person, right? So the lawyer woman, she can understand maybe better story of the other side.
That's true. As I said, women inherently have patience and also nurturing. So they show that in their work as well. They show a lot of empathy. They empathize with their clients, give them time. See, when clients come to my office, I have this reputation that the clients don't have to tell me everything. I get that information out of them. I ask them all the questions. Sometimes clients don't know what they want.
You can also judge.
Exactly. Depending upon the sophistication of the client, right? Some clients are very sophisticated. They do their research and they do their homework and they know exactly what to ask when they come to a lawyer's office. That's not the case with a lot of the clients. Let's say someone who's a truck driver. He doesn't know all the options he has, or even a chef or a cook. They're not very well educated, or they don't speak English. The language, there's a language barrier when they go and see lawyers. So it's actually becomes lawyers' responsibility to bring out the information from the client and also explain it to them what options are out there for them in a way that they would understand. That's what makes you a good lawyer.
So have you faced any challenges when you started your career? Let's say maybe, I think now you are perfect. Not everyone is perfect, but you are way better than you started in
Of
many
course,
years back.
yes,
right?
of course. It was 2 decades ago, 2004, when we started the firm. But then 2 years before, I actually started working as a lawyer. Of course, you know, over the period of time, you get better at your work, and also the confidence.
What was the most challenging thing you have faced?
Starting as
As
a
a lawyer.
young lawyer.
Yeah.
See, I was a very shy person as a young lawyer. So when I started as an associate, I was asked to go to these networking events. So back in the day, more than 20 years ago, our profession was very male dominated.
Yeah.
So I used to go to these networking events in downtown Toronto and big firms. Usually they take place in big firms. So I would go to these events and very shy to approach senior lawyers or to talk to them or to even promote myself, that I'm so-and-so, I do this, and this is my firm. And I was very bad at that, networking and also promoting my firm and promoting about my own practice. And then slowly, I realized that if you're not going to put yourself out there and also learn how to network and meet new people and promote your business, it's impossible to thrive or even to succeed in our profession. So slowly, I learned actually how to do that, and also not to be shy and meet new people, and also widen my network.
So, how many languages can you speak?
Fluently Telugu, that's my mother tongue, and Hindi, and I understand Punjabi and Tamil.
So, four.
For, of course, English.
So, in your team, in your office, do you have other language people who can? Which kind of clients you get?
Yes, we do. My partner, actually, Andreas, he speaks Spanish, Portuguese, and French, English, 4 languages. And we have lawyers speaking Russian, Hindi, and in Mandarin, Cantonese, so on and so forth.
So, any success story in your career?
So many, actually. But you want to hear one of them, or?
Maybe just a small story
Sure.
for my audience if someone wants to come and see you.
Of course, yes. Our firm actually truly believes in giving back, so we do pro bono work for people who cannot afford to hire us and pay our legal fees. So one time, 2 years ago, I was approached by the Indian consulate and also a not-profit organization with a very interesting case where an international student in New Brunswick met with an accident 6 months after he entered Canada. And it was a cold winter night, and he had an accident and nobody noticed it. So all night he spent in that snow, and with frostbites he lost his limbs, and he had to go through major surgeries. And now I was approached by the nonprofit organizations and also the Consul General of India to how to bring his family members to Canada. So I had to do an emergency visa application to the Indian consulate. And then I also called the Consul General explaining the emergency and all the severity of the case. And the mother of the client was given, within 48 hours, a visa to come to Canada. After she arrived, of course, you know, she was there to help him, but then she also was looking for work to support herself. The family was not well-to-do, and they didn't have the means to support, you know, to his surgeries and all that. And then I actually got together with few nonprofit organizations and raised funds for the family, and also applied for a special permit to the Canadian government to issue a work permit under a TRP program for the mother of the child, as a student, and that was granted. and now I'm actually pursuing permanent residence application for her under the humanitarian and compassionate grounds. So this case was very special to me and very personal. It was a great sense of satisfaction that when you help.
You have a soft heart.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I think a lot of lawyers do have over a period of time when they can help, when they're in the position to help, it becomes their not obligation, a duty, and also sense of compassion to give back to the community. And also, I'm very fortunate that I have very loyal clients over a period of time, and I do represent clients, who worked with me 20 years ago, and they still come back to us. So I see that as my strength, that clients would never leave us once they work with us.
That is a success, actually.
Yes, I believe so. Thank you.
Friends, so we are having very good conversation with Devika, and we're going for a short break, and I'm going to see you shortly. We are back. I'm here with Devika. She's an immigration lawyer, and I'm having very good conversation with her. So Devika, how was your break?
Oh, it was good.
So you like here?
Yes, so far so good. I enjoyed the first part of the interview.
Okay, that's great. So Devika, there are many students and foreign workers. They are already in Canada for many years. But question is, why they're not getting their permanent residence? What is the reason?
Well, that's true, though. We see, the number of international students went up, by the way, compared to what it was like 5 years ago. It's 3 times more than what it used to be. And a lot of international students in the recent years are very young compared to what it used to be. So they're coming to Canada after 12th grade, as opposed to after their undergraduate degree. So when they come here and they study for 2 years, they will get a 3-year work permit. But then, because they don't have a lot of work experience and they don't have higher education, they don't score enough points to be invited when they apply for immigration. So even for students who are already in Canada and foreign workers who are already in Canada living here for a few years, they still have to compete in the same pool in the express entry system. So as you know, our immigration system, the selection criteria is based on the point system. So you score points for age, education, work experience, language ability.
So how many points?
See, right now it's over 500 points. The CRS score, cumulative ranking system, that's called, where you score points for several factors. So you do score points for Canadian education and Canadian work experience. But then I'll tell you what, why students are not getting enough points. They don't have any higher education after post-secondary education, like undergraduate degree or master's. They come here after 12th grade for a 2-year program. So that's where they're losing points. And if their English is not strong, they also are losing points on language factor. And Canadian work experience, they would have only 1 or 2 years experience. They don't have any foreign work experience. That's where they're losing points and not able to score enough points to actually get invited to receive ITAs. They're called invitation to apply. So, but the Canadian government is also to be blamed. They go to all these countries and promote Canadian education system, saying that you come here, study a 2-year program, you will get a 3-year work permit, and then you qualify to apply for permanent residence under the Canadian experience class. Used to work in the past, but not anymore. So I think the Canadian government also has some responsibility to create a pathway for these international students, because I think they integrate well in the Canadian society because they have Canadian education and the Canadian work experience.
Got it. All right. So almost, recently I have heard, I was even reading in the newspapers, many students, they're going back, right? What is the reason?
Because we brought too many international students, and also we have limited resources. There's a housing crisis, and also employment opportunities. They're not finding jobs after they graduate, and also there's no clear pathway to immigrate to Canada. So that's also one of the reasons they are actually thinking of going back. When you see, after spending 3 to 4 years paying international student fees and you're not getting the right jobs in the field, in the occupation that they want to settle, it doesn't make any sense. If I were them, I would do the same thing. I don't want to waste my years, precious years, trying to find a job in the right field, or take up something, whatever comes to you as a security guard or Uber driver. I don't think that's right.
Of course, yeah. And the
They're
parents are not sending them to do these things, right?
Exactly. There's investing in these students, and they're very young, and they should not be wasting their years, young, when they were young, on these any jobs, right? They should invest in the right profession and also in the right education.
So when they come from other countries, right? Suppose someone is coming from India or Bangladesh or Pakistan or any country. So what is the criteria, right? Because some people, they are blaming citizens who are already Canadian citizens, like now the crimes are high in Canada, right? So they are blaming on those people, new people. So is it true? What do you think?
That's not true, because these students have to go through very rigorous vetting process when they apply for visas. So they have to be admitted into a good school, in a good program, and they have to make an application for a study permit. So
they have proper background checkup, right?
That's correct. Yes. And if you have a criminal record, you're not going to get a visa to come to Canada. So after they come here, let's say if they commit crimes, that can happen with anyone. So then also there's a mechanism to remove those individuals. If a student commits a crime convicted in Canada, they will be deported. So I don't think that's true. We may see some cases where students or foreign workers may commit crimes in Canada, but we have a very good mechanism in place in Canada to remove those individuals who are convicted in Canada.
So Devika, Canadians there are many Canadians who are waiting to sponsor their parents, but for some reason it's not happening. What is the reason?
Well,
or what are the reasons?
The reasons, the Canadian government is still working with the applications received in 2020. So they haven't opened the program for new applicants for the past 4 years. So they're inviting every year, but from the same pool of the applicants who showed expression of interest in 2020. So all the new applicants who did not apply in 2020 are still waiting. So that's why it's taking time. However, we do have something called Super Visa. So that allows Canadians to bring their parents and grandparents for a longer period of time, 5 to 10 years. So until they actually succeed with these sponsorship applications when the program opens. Hopefully in 2025, they will start taking new applications.
Great. So who is a refugee and who can claim as a refugee?
Refugee status?
A refugee
Right.
status, yeah.
A refugee is someone who fled their country of nationality and who cannot go back or not willing to go back, and also for the well-founded fear of persecution, being persecuted because of their race, religion.
So they're not safe in their country.
That's correct. If they're facing persecution in the country for their religion or if you belong to a particular social group, or believe in a political opinion, or the country where the war is going on and people are, want to escape for their life.
So do you have any advice for the young people who are just started their life or who are still in a school?
Okay. For young people, believe in yourself, and success is no accident. I truly believe in that. You have to work hard, perseverance, and sacrifice, work smart. And if you love what you do and you're good at what you do, success will follow you.
Of course.
There's no shortcut to hard work, of course. So don't cut corners.
Yeah. Unfortunately, today's generation, they're a little bit different than us.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But, it's just also the exposure, right? The kind of exposure they have, and they have more opportunities. And the environment that we grew up, we cannot even compare to what the young people right now, the environment they're in and the exposure they have. So it's a good and bad, but I guess also they have more opportunities now, and more career opportunities, and also
because of technology,
the technology and the exposure, and able to meet people anywhere in the world. And as I said, the more career opportunities, which is great. Back in the day when we were growing up, a very traditional, either lawyers or engineers, doctors, or teachers, a scientist. But now my son actually, for example, talks about becoming a sports commentator, which I wasn't even aware of his age when I was his age, 13 years. So it's a great thing, actually. Children are considering careers that are actually not traditional, and are thinking out of the box, which is actually, I think, is a great thing. But we should encourage that.
Of course. Dear newcomers and Canadian citizens, you're ambassadors of your country. Try to adopt your current country's policies, laws, and systems. Be kind with others. Thank you so much, Devika, and I'm hoping I'll see you again in my next episode.
Definitely, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.